Hey guys, today I'm going to be ranking every mob that has ever been in a mob vote. So we've got all the mobs here. Every mob that has been in a mob vote or a buy-in vote, I should clarify. So we've got Meera Cat, Fox, Ostrich, all the mobs, every mob. There have been 3 mob votes and 2 buy-in votes. There's quite a few mobs here, and also termites are included. Alright, so I'm going to go over how I'm going to classify each mob, how I'm ranking them, but first... that can go there. Alright, so I'm going to be ranking mobs, partially based on how cool I think they'd be, but partially based on how well I think they would fit into Minecraft, and also how useful they would be. I think these 3 factors will encapsulate most mobs pretty well, so without further ado, let's get started. Alright, first is Mob A from the mob vote. So Mob A is basically just a killer squid, I guess. I don't know, it's interesting. The problem with Mob A is that it was created before the ocean update, the update aquatic, so it was a lot more interesting back then, but now it's not as interesting because there's a lot more in the oceans. Maybe we'll put it at C. Alright, next is the Phantom. The Phantom's actually really cool, and there's now a downside to not sleeping, which I think is interesting. And also you can use Phantom Membranes to make, or to fix Elytras, so that's cool. Phantom's pretty good. Let's put Phantom at A tier. Alright, next we've got Mob C from the mob vote. I don't know, they were a little bit vague on this one. As far as I can tell, it can enchant or disenchant items, or maybe both, and it hides underground. So there's not much about it, but it looks cool. I don't know, let's put it D tier. Last is Mob D. Mob D in the first mob vote was actually a pretty interesting idea. It's just a giant super blaze, I guess. Kind of like a mini-boss type thing, it seems like, and I think that could have been pretty cool. I mean, we have very few bosses in the game as is. We got the Warden recently, but before that, we just had the Ender Dragon and the Wither, so I say the more bosses the better. Let's put Mob D in A tier. Next is the Meera Cat. Alright, honestly, Meera Cats are just one of my favorite animals, and I really wanted them to win, so just for that, they go in A tier. Next is the Fox. The Fox was a decent addition, but also I wanted the Meera Cat, so we're putting the Fox in B tier. But the Taiga needed more added, so it's good that the Fox won, I guess. Alright, next up is the Ostrich. The Ostrich was a pretty interesting idea, but also I don't see much use coming out of it, and I'm not sure if it fits Minecraft all that well, so I'm gonna put that in C tier. Next up is Termites. Termites could be interesting, but also I'm not totally sure how they'd work. I'm not even totally sure if termites were supposed to be a mob or just like a block or something, but they're a mob here, so I don't know, maybe they can go B tier. Next up is the Vulture. The Vulture's actually a pretty cool idea. Kinda reminds me of Don't Starve, the Vultures in that game. And that game's pretty cool, so. Plus it would come up with an update to the Badlands, and the Badlands could use an update, so put Vulture in A tier. Next up is Frogs. Frogs recently got announced as the first, and at this point, the only mob to have lost a mob vote or buy-in vote and still gotten the game later on. So that's cool. A lot of people seem to like frogs. I think they're okay. C tier. Goat. The goat was the mob who won the second mob vote. I don't know why this thing won the mob vote. It's not very useful. Looks kinda dumb. They can jump really high, but that's about it, so we're putting it in D tier. The Iceologer. I think I'm saying that right. Is it Iceologer or Iceologer? I don't know. Either way, pretty cool guy. Seems pretty cool. I really like the idea of this guy, especially how he would attack you with blocks of ice. I don't know, I'm getting kind of like mini-boss type vibes from him, but maybe that's just me. I don't know, I think he would have been a great addition. S tier. Moobloom. Moobloom is top tier. He's S tier. He's the best mob The Moo Bloom fits Minecraft perfectly. There's totally uses people could have found for him. Best mob ever to be associated with Minecraft. I don't understand how the Glow Squid beat him. But yeah, Moo Bloom, best mob. Best mob ever. And Iceologer. Iceologer's pretty cool too. Seriously, with these three, I don't understand how the Glow Squid won. Alright, now, we're on to the final three. The 2021 mob vote that just happened only a few days ago. If you saw my recent video, then you'll probably know how this is gonna go. But, the glare isn't all that useful. I mean, I can't think of many uses for it. You can just check brightness by pressing F3. I don't know, I guess it would home in on dark areas? I don't know, you can just light things up though, so I don't really see how it's all that useful. Looks kinda neat, and I guess if it's Minecraft though, so we'll put it in C tier. The LA. Honestly, I don't really get this one. I feel like people thought it could do things that it can't. Like, I saw a bunch of people online saying it would just, like, duplicate items, which doesn't make any sense. Like, it just picks up items off the ground that you just put on the ground. Why can't you pick up those items? Like, the only case it would be useful for is if you're, like, trying to organize chests and you just drop all your items on the ground, except you keep one of each item so you can give it to the LA, and then also you have a jukebox there. It just... I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. But I do like how it sort of has a similar look to the Vex, so it does match the style and aesthetic of Minecraft, and I do think its mechanic is a cool idea in theory, even if it doesn't really work that well in practice. So I'll put it just above the glare. And then Copper Golem. In my opinion, Copper Golem would have been really cool. It's another golem. We only have 2 of them, I believe. And it had a pretty cool idea behind it. Also, there's no way to verify this, but I totally thought to myself in my head before the mob vote, how cool would it be if the Copper Golem could unoxidize itself by getting struck by lightning, because it has a lightning rod on its head. And that's actually how it worked. That would have been so cool to have them, like, get struck by lightning and then they just come to life. That would have been amazing. And the LA one. What the hell? Anyways, Copper Golem goes in S tier. And this is it. The mob vote. Every mob vote. And every biome vote. Every mob, and this is how I would have voted on them if I had voted on all of them. I did not vote on all of them. I only voted on the most recent ones. I just wasn't interested enough before that. But all of these mobs are pretty neat, except for the Glow Squid. The Glow Squid can go die. But besides that, honestly, I think all these mobs are pretty cool to some degree, so if you like one of the mobs that I put in the low tier, don't worry, I still think your mob's pretty cool. It's just not nearly as cool as other mobs. Unless you like the Glow Squid. If you like the Glow Squid, leave. But yeah, all of these mobs are pretty cool. I think the Moo Bloom is by far the best mob out of all of them, and the Iceologer and Copper Golem are somewhat close behind. I'll put the link to this tier list in the description, so you can go make your own tier list if you want, out of the mob vote mobs, and also type in the comment section how you would have ranked the mobs. Is there mobs that won votes that you think shouldn't have won votes, like the Glow Squid? Maybe there's a mob that you wanted to win, and they won. Put it all down in the comments. Also, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.